Hello everyone, Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. Today I want to talk about Jefferson Starship. Yes, Jefferson Starship. I got this idea because I just watched a video today by Brendan Snyder. So if you haven't checked out his channel, definitely check it out. Brendan Snyder was talking about a Jefferson Airplane album called Bark. And I have that on CD as well. And I was like, you know what? I love Jefferson Airplane. And I liked when they morphed into Jefferson Starship. And I thought, you know what, let me show off some of the albums that I have by Jefferson Starship. And before this video starts, I'm just going to say I am not an expert on Jefferson Starship. I just know that I like a lot of their songs and I have some of their albums. I don't have everything though. Let me just tell you that in 1974, they came out with an album called Dragonfly. I've got that on CD. That's a great album. 1975, they came out with an album called Red Octopus. Another great album. I have that on CD. I don't have it here with me. 1976, they came out with an album called Spitfire, which is another awesome album. I have that on CD. Again, I don't have it here with me. And that brings me to 1978, Earth. And I do have that. So I'm going to show you the next few albums that they came out with, and talk about some of my favorite songs. So this is the album Earth, came out in 1978. And this is what the back cover looks like. Very cool album. Out of all the ones that I'm going to show you today, this is probably my least favorite. And I think the only reason is because it sounds very dated. It's got a lot of the songs have a disco vibe to them. Again, it's not a bad thing, but probably out of all the albums I'm going to show you today, this is probably the most dated for me. Some songs I love on here. Love Too Good, really good song. Again, it's got a disco beat to it, disco guitar, even some disco strings in the background. I still like it, but it definitely is dated. There's a great song called Skateboard, which has a disco backbeat to it. Great vocals by Grace Slick. Show Yourself is a great song. That reminds me of something that could have been on a Jefferson Airplane album. And then the song All Night Long, which is a really good way to end the album. It's more of like a rock vibe. So out of all the Jefferson Starship albums, this could be my least favorite. It's still a good record, but probably my least favorite. Next, in 1979, they came out with an album called Freedom at Point Zero. This is on the Grunt label. And I'll just pull this out and show you. This is a gatefold. This is the back cover. And then the gatefold looks like this. And all these albums have great, inner sleeves with pictures on them. Very cool. Nice sturdy inner sleeve too. Now this album, I like almost all the songs on this album. I love the song Jane. It's got like a Foreigner vibe to it. If you like Foreigner, you would really like the song Jane. I like Things to Come. Great bass backbeat to that song. Awesome rock guitar in that. There's a song called Awakening, which is really cool. It's got sort of like a proggy vibe to it. Girl with the Hungry Eyes, really good song. Definitely 80s pop vibe to that. Just the Same, another Foreigner vibe, almost something like Survivor could have sung. Really good song though. Rock music is really good. I'm trying to read my handwriting here. Fading Ladylite, great ballad. Nice acoustic guitar in that song. And I love the song Freedom at Point Zero. So all around, I like almost all the songs on this album. This was definitely a step up from Earth. This came out in 1979. So, you know what I would say if you're new to Jefferson Starship, check out this album. Very cool. I also like Spitfire too, but again, I have that on CD. I can't show you that because it's in storage. Next, let me turn the page of my notes here. In 1981, they came out with an album called Modern Times. I love the cover of this album. It's another gatefold, but it's sort of embossed, and it's got sort of just a really cool feel to it. This is the back cover, and it's a gatefold. This is what the inside looks like. And again, it's got a great, you know, nice sturdy inner picture sleeve. This album is another very strong album. Let me tell you some of my favorites on here. I love the song that it opens up with, Find Your Way Back. Great keyboards, great guitar song, guitar tone in that song. It's just a big, big 80s song. Really love it. Then I love the song Stranger. It's got a great bass drum rhythm in it. Very cool. It kind of sticks in your head when you're listening to it. Love the song Modern Times. There's two real rockers on here, Mary and Free. Really, really dig those. Definitely 80s rockers. There's a song called Alien, which is very proggy. And then Stairway to Cleveland. In the next couple albums, they have songs similar to this song. It's very fast lyrics, very upbeat. It reminds me of like REM, It's the End of the World as we know it. And the guitar in it is sort of like a Neil Diamond, Thank the Lord for the Nighttime vibe. So it's a really cool song, Stairway to Cleveland. And like I said, in these next couple albums, there's a couple songs that sound very similar to this. So all in all, Modern Times, very, very cool album. That came out in 1981. Let me just put it back in its sleeve. I don't want the vinyl community yelling at me. Chris, you didn't properly sleeve your record. I'm sleeving it. I'm sleeving it. Don't worry. Next. 1982. They came out with an album called Winds of Change. Very cool cover. There's the album. And I'll show you what it looks like here. That's the back cover. And another cool inner sleeve. This album I don't like as much as the last couple, but it's still a really cool album. I like the song Winds of Change on here. I like the song Keep on Dreaming. I Will Stay is a great ballad. Out of Control has sort of like a cool video game vibe to it. Some nice keyboard effects in the background. Killer guitar solo on that song. Love Can't Find Love. And Black Widow's a really cool song too. It's sort of got a Pat Benatar vibe to it. And Quit Wasting Time is good too. So all around, it's a very solid album. I just don't like it as much as, you know, Modern Times and Freedom at Point Zero. But still, very strong album, 1982. And the last one I want to show you is an album that came out in 1984. This is called Nuclear Furniture. This came out on the Grunt label as well. And that's what the back cover looks like, sort of an embossed chair on there. And then you have the cool inner sleeve. This album has a very, very cool production to it. It's really tight. It's definitely got that that 80s production. Very rocking album. They really turned up the guitars for this album. So if you like more of like a rock sound, you should definitely check out Nuclear Furniture. They were kind of tapping into what all those bands were doing at the time. You know, the Foreigners and the Survivors, and even some of the, you know, Bryan Adams type vibe too. So it's definitely got that cool 80s rock vibe to it. Love the song Laying It on the Line. Major great 80s song. Sorry Me, Sorry You is great. I love Connection. Rose Goes to Yale. Now that's another one of those really fast upbeat songs. It reminds me of Out of Control off of Winds of Change and Stairway to Cleveland off of Modern Times. So these last few albums, they seem to have, you know, one of these songs that has some really quick, fast lyrics, but very cool song. Assassin's cool. It's got sort of a laid-back vibe to it. Showdown, very cool song. It's got like a world beat almost to it, a world vibe, world beat song, almost similar to like what Peter Gabriel would be doing at the time. And then I like the song Champion. So all in all, this is a very strong album as well. More of a very rocking type sound to it. Now, that is not where Jefferson Starship ended. I'll tell you a couple of their other albums. In 1988, they came out with an album called Windows of Heaven, which I do not know. I have not listened to that. And then in 2008, they came out with an album called Jefferson's Tree of Liberty, which I have not listened to as well. So that's what I have by Jefferson Starship on vinyl. I don't have any Jefferson Airplane on vinyl. I've got a lot of Jefferson Airplane on CD. Like I said, I've got a lot more Jefferson Starship on CD. It's just in storage right now, but I wanted to show you guys what I had on vinyl. So let me know. Again, I'm not a Jefferson Starship expert. I just know that I do like a lot of their music, and I mean, interested to know what you guys think. What are your favorite albums? Do you prefer Airplane to Starship? Or I know that they also became just Starship too, and then I'm trying to remember what was the big song? Oh, We Built This City on Rock and Roll. That was a great song too, but that's when they were just Starship. Confusing, right? Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, Starship, and then I know like Grace Slick and Kantner came out with some solo records as well. I have those on CDs. So it's sort of like a confusing, convoluted family tree, but they came out with some great music. And I haven't heard a lot about Jefferson Starship on the VC. So, you know, thank you to Brendan Snyder for sort of getting me in that zone. Listen, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and listen to music.